Last episode was about backlash, how people react when you finally start choosing yourself. Today is the part nobody warns you about. Because even if you handle the outside pressure, there's still one voice that can sabotage everything. Your own. That voice that shows up right after you say no, right after you set a boundary, right after you do something brave. And it whispers, was I too harsh? Did I overreact? Am I the problem? That voice is sneaky because it sounds reasonable. It sounds mature. It sounds like self-awareness. But a lot of the time, it's not wisdom, it's conditioning. One clear problem. After you choose yourself, self-doubt hits, and it makes you undo your boundaries, apologize for your growth, and crawl back into the old role. One clear solution. You need an internal boundary. A simple way to tell the difference between real accountability and fake guilt, and a system to stop self-gaslighting your progress. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to say, I'm not crazy, I'm adjusting, and I'm staying consistent. Let's go there. Here's the paradox. When you've spent years being the easy one, the moment you become the clear one, it feels like you're being mean. Not because you are mean, because your baseline was self-erasure. So when you finally act like a normal adult with limits, your nervous system treats it like danger. That's why you feel guilty. That's why you replay conversations. That's why you start writing apology, texts you don't even mean. And then you do something worse than breaking your boundary. You start rewriting history. You start saying, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe I should just let it go. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I'm selfish. That's self-gaslighting. And it's one of the biggest reasons people never change. Let me tell you about Andre. Andre grew up in a home where peace meant silence. If you spoke up, you were disrespectful. If you disagreed, you were ungrateful. So Andre became a master at swallowing things. He could be hurt and still smile. He could be overwhelmed and still say yes. Then he learned boundaries. He started small. He stopped answering calls during work. He said no to last-minute favors. He asked for respect in conversations. And everything inside him panicked. He told me, when I set a boundary, I feel like I did something wrong, even when I know I didn't. That's the point. Your guilt isn't always a sign you did something wrong. Sometimes it's a sign you did something new. So how do you tell the difference? Here's the system. 3 blocks. Block 1, spot fake guilt. Block 2, check real accountability. Block 3, choose your response. Let's break it down. Block 1, spot fake guilt. Fake guilt has a pattern. It shows up when you stop being convenient. Here are 5 signs you're dealing with fake guilt, not real wrongdoing. Sign 1. You're feeling guilty for saying no to something you have the right to decline. You didn't insult anyone. You didn't attack anyone. You just said no. And your body reacts like you committed a crime. Sign 2. The person is more upset about losing access than losing connection. They're not saying, I miss you. They're saying, you're not doing what I want. Sign 3. You're apologizing for your tone when the real issue is their behavior. Classic move. You say, please don't talk to me like that. And now you're defending your delivery instead of their disrespect. Sign 4. Your boundary is being treated like betrayal. You set a limit, and they act like you abandoned them. That's manipulation, even if they don't mean it that way. Sign 5. You feel pressure to prove you're still good. So you over-explain, you over-give, you overcompensate. That's not love, that's fear. Fake guilt is basically your old training screaming, go back, be safe, be liked. Block 2. Check real accountability. Now let's be honest. Sometimes you really do mess up. Sometimes you say something too sharp. Sometimes you ghost people. Sometimes you let anger drive the conversation. That's real, and that matters. So here's how you check real accountability in 30 seconds. Ask these 3 questions. Did I disrespect them, or did I disappoint them? Disrespect is insults, threats, humiliation, cruelty. Disappointing them is choosing differently. Did I communicate clearly or did I punish silently? Clear is, I'm not available. Punish is disappearing, stonewalling, passive-aggressive moves. Did I set a boundary or did I build a wall? A boundary is a limit with love. A wall is shutting down to avoid any discomfort. If you answer yes to disrespect, silent punishment, or walls, own it. Fix it. But if you didn't do those things, then you don't need to apologize for having a spine. Block 3. Choose your response. This is where people get stuck. They think the only two options are surrender and keep peace. All of it could place. Hold the boundary and destroy the relationship. False. There's a third option, repair without surrender. Here's how it looks. You can say, I hear you, I'm not trying to hurt you, and my boundary still stands. That's the sweet spot. You keep love open, but you keep your life protected. Now let's talk about the biggest boundary killer, the panic apology. That's when you feel guilty and you send a message like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, do whatever you want, I was just stressed. That message trains people to ignore your boundaries because they learn if we push long enough, you'll fold. So instead, use what I call the steady statement. Here are 3 steady statements you can steal. I care about you. I'm not changing my decision. I hear your feelings. This is still my limit. We can talk about this calmly. I'm not arguing. Short, calm, repeatable. Now we need to handle one more thing, rumination. Rumination is when your brain replays the conversation like a movie trailer all day. That loop is not helping you learn, it's keeping your nervous system stuck. So here's the practical fix. When you catch yourself replaying, do this. Step 1, label it. This is rumination. Step 2, redirect to proof. What did I protect with that boundary? Step 3, take one action that reinforces your new identity. One small act. Drink water. Write one sentence. Take a short walk. Do something that says, I'm stable. Because your brain stops obsessing when it sees forward motion. Now here's the Paradox Stories experiment for this episode. It's called the 24-hour rule. For the next 7 days, whenever you set a boundary, you are not allowed to walk it back for 24 hours. No panic apology, no, just kidding. No surrender text. You can reflect, you can journal, you can talk to a trusted friend, you can regulate your body, but you cannot undo the boundary for 24 hours. Why? Because most regret is not regret, it's discomfort. If after 24 hours you realize you were rude or unclear, you can repair without surrendering. You can say, I want to rephrase how I said that. My boundary stays the same, but I want to say it with more respect. That's mature. That's powerful. That keeps your integrity. Now I want to land this in your chest, not just your head. If you've been the good one for a long time, growth will feel like guilt at first. That does not mean you're wrong. It means you're rewiring. And every time you hold a boundary and the world doesn't end, your brain learns, we're safe. Every time you disappoint someone and you don't collapse, your confidence grows. Every time you stop self-gaslighting and stand in your truth, you become someone you can trust. Desired state. You set limits without panic, you repair when needed, and you stop treating your own needs like a crime. So here's your one small step today. Think of one boundary you set recently that you've been tempted to walk back. Just one. Write it down. Then write this sentence under it. My discomfort is not my danger. Read it once and keep moving. Because your life isn't built by one perfect conversation, it's built by the decisions you repeat. If this episode hit you, like it, share it with someone who's learning to say no, and subscribe for more paradox stories. Until next time, stop apologizing for becoming healthy. Stop questioning your growth, hold your boundary, repair with respect, and remember, guilt isn't always a warning. Sometimes it's proof you're changing. Custom message. Don't walk it back. Teaser text. Guilt isn't always truth.